Mr. Clerk, the time is 6:01. I'm going to call this Budget Committee meeting to order. The town of Aurora acknowledges that the Anishinaabe lands on which we live and work are the traditional and treaty territories of the Chippewas of Regina Island, as well as many other nations whose presence here continues to this day. As the closest First Nation community to Aurora, we recognize a special relationship the Chippewas have with the water and lands of these territories. They are the water protectors and environmental stewards of these lands, and as a municipality, we join them in these responsibilities. We further acknowledge that Aurora is part of the treaty lands of the Mississaugas and Chippewas recognized through Treaty Number 13, as well as the Williams Treaties of 1923. Shared understanding of the rich cultural heritage that has existed for centuries and how our collective paths have brought us where we are today will help us walk together into a better future. Council, can I get a motion to approve the agenda with the additional items? Councillor Gallo, Councillor Kim. Comments? Call a vote. All those in favor? Opposed? That carries. Any declarations of pecuniary interest? Seeing none. Delegations, we have three. First up, 5.1, Cathy Williams, Chair, and Lynne Logan, Treasurer, Aurora Farmers Market, regarding funding assistance. Welcome, Cathy. Welcome, Lynne. You have 5 minutes, and the floor is yours.
Good evening, Mayor Marcus and members of council.
Cathy, can I just get you to, yes, thank you.
I am Cathy Williams, and I am the chair of the Aurora Farmers Market and Artisan Fair. I'm here this evening on behalf of our board of directors to seek your support for a partnership that will ensure the long-term sustainability of one of Aurora's most beloved community traditions, the Aurora Farmers Market. Slide 2. Many of you have attended the market. Thank you. You've seen firsthand the vibrancy and community connection that makes this such a special gathering place every Saturday. Slide 3. The market began in 2002 in the Temperance Street parking lot with just 10 vendors, championed by Councillor Nigel Keane. In 2008, we relocated to the town park under a bylaw change, supported then by Councillor Stephen Granger. By 2019, we had grown to 67 vendors, 11 farm, 11 food, 22 artisan, and 23 community groups. We were also one of the few farmers markets that remained open during COVID and even provided guidance to other markets. Slide 4. Today, the Aurora Farmers Market continues to thrive as we have grown to 73 vendors, which includes farmers, food, artisans, and community organizations. They join us in welcoming over 37,000 attendees each season. So we showcase more than 30 local organizations and generate over 1,500 volunteer hours. We are one of the only markets sourcing all goods from within 200 kilometers of Aurora. The Aurora Farmers Market has become one of Aurora's cultural cornerstones, a true destination within York Region. Slide 5. Pursuant to the council delegation that we gave on June 10th, council invited us to present here at this community budget meeting. Tonight, we're here to outline the need, the benefits, and the risks of inaction. Our market's growth has been incredible. But with that success comes increasing administrative, operational, and communication demands. Our market coordinator is retiring after this season, and the workload, vendor management, logistics, social media, volunteer coordination, and regulatory compliance has grown beyond what a volunteer board can sustain. Simply put, we've reached the limits of what a volunteer-run structure can manage. Slide 6. Our board has proudly served this community for over a decade, but we are now operating with just 5 active members, down from 9. Recruitment has proven difficult as the administrative and logistical workload has become too demanding for volunteers alone, therefore likely discouraging others from volunteering on the board. We are also seeing an increased need for expertise in risk management and health and safety compliance, areas that require professional oversight. While our commitment has never wavered, the reality is that the structure that once worked no longer fits the needs of today's market. Slide 7. This brings us here tonight because the situation is now urgent. Without staffing support from the town of Aurora, the farmers market cannot continue beyond the 2025 season in its current form. Without this partnership, the market would have to scale back, fewer vendors, fewer community activities, and diminished programming. We have worked with town staff regarding this proposal, and we are respectfully requesting that the town transition the market staffing structure to come under town management. This would include town employees managing day-to-day operations, vendor applications, compliance, insurance, communications, and social media. We also request that council consider appointing a council ex officio member to our board to strengthen communication and alignment between the town and the market. Slide 8. Currently, our staffing and structure includes a market coordinator for 12 hours per week, an operations coordinator for 8 hours per week, and a social media coordinator for 2 hours per week. Despite these roles, the board still handles all the administration logistics from processing vendor applications, handling regulation compliance, vendor communications, marketing, social media, budgeting, risk management, and entertainment programming, and more. Slide 9. We're asking the town to consider supporting a shift in our structure from a working board to a governance board. This would allow us to focus on oversight, approving vendors, ensuring compliance with Farmers Market Ontario standards, and guiding programming. To do this, we respectfully request the town to encompass the staffing component with the hiring of a market coordinator, a market seasonal support assistant, and an operations coordinator. Currently, the farmers market is paying $13,500 in staffing costs. Under the proposed model, we would provide that contribution directly to the town. The total cost for the staffing model.
Are you to wrap up, Cathy?
Can I have just a minute and a half?
Councillor Weiss, Councillor Gardner, all those in favor? Opposed? Go ahead.
Thank you. To do this, we respectfully request the town to encompass the staffing component with the hiring of a market coordinator, a market seasonal support assistant, and an operations coordinator. Currently, the farmers market is paying $13,500 in staffing costs. Under the proposed model, we would provide that contribution directly to the town. The total cost for the staffing model is $34,000 plus $2,500 in one-time expenses. The resulting in a $24,000 contribution request from the town for the 2026 season, with the intent to establish an ongoing partnership moving forward. Slide 10. This slide outlines the duties of each of the 3 proposed roles, all of which are essential to maintaining a high-quality, compliant, and community-driven market. Other municipalities, including several within York Region, have already adopted similar staffing models, integrating their farmers markets within their municipal event or economic development teams. Slide 11. This partnership would ensure the long-term sustainability of the farmers market and safeguard its role as a cultural and economic asset for the town. It would support local small businesses and farmers, sustain weekly cultural programming and entertainment, strengthen community connections, and align directly with the town's strategic priorities of community vitality, economic development, and food security. Slide 12. Without this support, the future of the Aurora Farmers Market beyond 2025 is uncertain. A closure or even a scaled-back version would represent a significant loss to our community, economically, socially, and culturally. We are deeply proud of how far the market has come, and we remain hopeful that with your support, it can continue to grow, evolve, and serve the people of Aurora for years to come. Thank you for your time, your consideration, and your continued belief in the power of local community.
Thank you. Councillor, can I get a motion to receive? Councillor Weiss, Councillor Kim, any questions for the delegate? Councillor Weiss?
Thanks, Cathy and Lynne. Appreciate you coming. I know the amount of work and thought it's put into it. I'm really glad to see that you looked at other models that have worked well in other communities. So that's great. And I know that succession is one of the largest problems that we have in all of our not-for-profit organizations. So I think you've landed on a solution here on behalf of the farmers market. And I want to thank you for that. And I know I've spoken to Ms. McDougall about this numerous times. So I know she's interested in support. So again, I want to thank you for coming forward.
Any other questions, the delegate? See none. Cathy, Lynne, thank you very much for coming this evening. Thank you. Call a vote. All those in favor? Opposed? That carries. Next, we have 5.2, Ms. Phiona Durrant, Aurora Public Community Association, or Black Community Association, sorry, annual update on ABC and Black History Celebration. Phiona, welcome. Just remind you have 5 minutes and the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Councillor, and all the other partners that are here today. NACA, Teresa Grant Hull, that's here in community support. Thank you. ABC, I'm Phiona Durrant, the president of the Aurora Black Community Association, and with me is our acting VP, Jodi-Ann Morrison. I just want to first start by saying we want to thank the volunteers of the town. Robin McDougall, Phil Rose, Michelle Johnson, and the entire staff, Nicole and everyone that walks alongside with us, including other partners that are here today, like the York Region, it's like the Aurora Public Library, and we don't have the York Region Police, but CCSYR, lots of other organizations that walks alongside us. Next, please. Next, please. ABC believes that we are what we do every day, not what we say we plan to do. And as a result, we envision an inclusive Aurora where equity shapes every decision we make. Most of the presentation is in your possession, so I am just glancing through. I'm not going in verbatim. So next slide, please. Today, I'm sharing with you about Black History 365, or collective growth, and I'm aligning it with the Town of Aurora Cultural Action Plan to show you what we have been doing. Our shared vision point, the Aurora Community Association continue to strengthen Aurora culture and social fabric through programs and events that bridge cultures and build community. Our work directly support the town's commitment to diversity, inclusion, and belonging, ensuring Aurora plans are lived out in real off the paper. Sports plans and inclusion and accessibility. Our work aligns closely with the town's cultural action plan, the sports plan vision, the York Region Community Safety and Wellbeing Plan for 2022-2026. We put inclusivity and belonging in action, ensuring that residents not only feel welcome, but they see themselves represented in the community life. So together, these initiatives demonstrate how the town and the region goals are inclusive, accessible, safety, and well-being are happening through driven partnership like ABC. The cultural action plan 1 is to enhancing cultural experience. The town's goal is to create cultural opportunity for residents and visitors. How is ABC helping in this? The Black History Gala, the movie series that we do with the Aurora Film Circus, the work we do with the museum and the Aurora Public Library that are bringing awareness to community spaces. Our events welcome longtime residents, newcomers, and together we're enriching Aurora cultural landscape and ensuring history is told through many voices, not just one. The Cultural Action Plan number 2, supporting economic development. The town goal is to leverage local cultural assets to stimulate the economy. Our program, such as the gala, attracts local vendors, artists, caterers, and services, small business. We also have our Forward grant for young people, young entrepreneurs, equity-seeking individuals, helping them to advance career and ventures. Again, we demonstrate that an investment in equity is an investment in people, and in turn, an investment in Aurora economic future. Cultural Action Plan number 3, strengthening community cohesion. I love that word. The town's goal is to build community and ensure that meaningful engagement with diverse population. ABC bridge between community, fostering understanding through education, celebration, and advocacy. That's happening with the York Region Police, the York Region Food Network, and other associations. And at this time, I'll just pass it over to Jodi-Ann, who will just talk a little bit about our revenue for Black History.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Phiona. I'll just get right into it. Our revenue for 2025 was 33,000, 10,000 of which came to us as a community grant, which is 30% of our revenue, and the remaining 23% was from sales and sponsorship. Sales and sponsorship meaning ticket sales and community sponsorship, which contributed 70% of the revenue from both online and offline channels. For Black History Month last year, next slide, please. On the budget. Sorry. Yes, there we go. Is that it? Okay.
I can just get you to wrap up unless someone wants to.
Sure. Thank you. So as you see as you see the slides, out of the 33,000, almost half of it went to only catering and chef, and you can see the rest of the breakdown. Or summary, 33,000 was our revenue last year. Over 29,000 went to sales, program, and grant costs, which left us with only 3,950. And it's the first year that we've seen a positive. So while the financial support received through ticket sales, sponsorship, and the Town of Aurora grant is deeply appreciated, the limited surplus remaining after event expenses leaves little capacity to invest in the ongoing work that truly deserves, that truly drives the community impact. Majority of the other programs that we do, it's out of pocket. So our ask is for 2026, 15,000 in funding for Black History and DEI initiatives, and 10,000 in kind for venue, staffing, equipment, and promotional support. This concludes our presentation. If the floor is now open for questions.
Thank you. Council, can I get a motion to receive first? Councillor Gardner, Councillor Gallo, any questions for the delegates? Seeing none. Ladies, thank you very much for coming out this evening. Appreciate it. Call the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? That carries. 5.3, Shawn Deane, resident, regarding items 6.1.1, 6.1.2, and 6.1.5. Mr. Deane, welcome. You have 5 minutes and the floor is yours.
Good evening, council and community partners. I wish there was more money to provide to every good initiative. However, I'm here to, the reality is there isn't. And this council has committed to infrastructure over these other and prioritize that way. And we've taken on generational debt with Town Square of $60 million. That doesn't, and a 20-year debt for that, and the gym for 16 or $12.2 million. So there doesn't, that's how we prioritize. So it doesn't leave a lot of money. The budget that you presented, Mr. Mayor, is a direct veto, in my opinion, to the 0% motion. The people's budget would recognize 7% of council, and you have not. So it was detailed in that veto how you can achieve, and just the surplus that you acquired last year that I stated last week in my delegation was $1.4 million instead of the $166,000. So that introduces another risk factor with all of our budgeting process. There's too much risk. There's too much forecasting, and the margin of error is huge. It creates risk. And the budget practice also creates inflation. So the error in forecasting was with 2 months to go in the year, you missed revenue and expenses by 9 times. Blue box savings were 1.1 million. They dropped by 65%. It's one expense, and you had to go out to other municipalities to understand how to budget this. So I'm very concerned. The questions put forward about not contributing to 1% to the reserves, and the answer from our treasurer, I have to file a complaint because you've repeatedly misstated and created misinformation for everyone when you say it's 9 times. That would cost us $63 million, $6.3 million. That's misinformation, and I'm going to put in a complaint. And Mr. Mayor, that's followed up with an integrity.
Point of order, Mr. Councillor Gallo.
This is not the venue to be criticizing staff.
Oh, thank you. I find favor in that, Mr. Deane. I'd ask you to continue, but
Okay.
Please refrain from taking
So
liberties at staff. please.
I'm here to articulate, as I've said for a year, to be part of the solution. And when I don't have information, I can't articulate accurate facts. So the surpluses over 3 years that go undetected total $6.2 million. What also is misleading is the water bill. There's a 20% charge on the water bill that's not listed on the water bill that goes right to reserves. And you don't state that clearly in the budget. You say there's a contribution. You don't say 20%. It's worth $7 million every year, 7.2 last year, 7.8 this year. And what's a head scratcher is our maintenance and repair cost for water is going down next year. So not only did you collect $7.2 million without clearly declaring it to all on the water bill or in the budget, but you actually also had a surplus of $1 million in the water budget. So now that 7.2 turns into 8. And you're putting up our water bill this year again. So we need to understand why you need $7 million a year for water. Vehicles. There's the operational services department is asking for 12 vehicles, $2.5 million this year. Well, guess what? Last year, we never bought 11 vehicles, $1.6 million. So I'm very concerned that we're approving all the spending and someone needs more than 12 months to purchase a vehicle. They're given separate project numbers. And guess what? This year, they're asking for one particular vehicle. It uses the exact same description and picture as the request that was approved last year. So now is someone trying to pull the wool over my eyes, council's eyes? Is someone making a mockery out of the budget process? Raises 5%, $2 million just for staff and benefits and new. That's 280 people. That's $7,100 in raises and benefits per employee. It was $6,500 last year. We're spending too much money. Growth doesn't pay for growth. You keep saying we have to keep up with growth. We have less than 1% of growth for 5 years. 550 homes, not 1,600, not 8,000. So there is no growth. And yet our new growth revenue this year is $764,000. Guess what we're spending? $24 million. Where does the money come from?
Can I get you to wrap up, Mr. Deane, please?
Development charges also create a risk.
Motion to extend, Councillor Gilliland, second by Councillor Gardner. All those in favor? Opposed? I need hands. All those in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Deane. I'll give you an extra. Yep, go ahead.
Yes. Well, if there was another form for the budget discussions that I've been pleading for a year, these questions would have been answered. And if I didn't have to submit freedom of information request. So, however, I'm here to protect my money, but also all the other innocent taxpayers that are entrusting in council. So development charges create a risk. We shouldn't be approving the promenade because there's too much risk. It's even written. And deferral of projects. The budget says we have to defer projects. It's So grants, we never see reserves from grants. Asset management, we're rebuilding retaining walls every year. How about we just learn how to build a retaining wall correctly? So this budget is too much air. It's not the people's budget. It should be zero. It should be less. I know how to. And in this last year of council's term, there's all this additional spending. And that's a concern. So what do I do with these? I'm bringing them forward. I'm speaking on behalf of all of Aurora, the 21,000 houses that haven't grown. And we're spending all this money like we have 8,000 homes. 8,000 homes today would only bring us in $20 million a year. And we're spending $24 million in growth and new. So these are my concerns. And I will continue to advocate for more transparency and accountability on behalf of the taxpayer. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Council, can I get a motion to receive and refer? Councillor Thompson, Councillor Weiss, any questions? Councillor Gallo, go ahead.
Thank you. It's not a question, but I do want to acknowledge your passion and your commitment to what you're doing, and it's it's rare that we get someone to spend this amount of time on our, many people would think boring budget, but extremely important. Crossed the line a little bit there, and I had to chime in, but I do want you to know that I appreciate the time that you're spending on it, and that you've opened up my eyes in certain aspects. And I just wanted to acknowledge that.
Councillor Gillen.
Thank you. To Mr. Mayor, to Delegate. Again, thank you very much for coming and speaking about some of the concerns for the budget. I think it's really important to have public engagement. But I did have a question. You had mentioned something about the photos that were repetitive from a previous budget, and I just didn't know if you had specific budget item you can point to. So if we do question about that around staff tonight, then we have something to point to.
Deane.
Yes, I can provide you with the project numbers. So all the vehicles have separate project numbers. And so, yes, they were different project numbers, the same two pictures in this year with a different project number.
Gotcha.
Councillor.
Thank you. Through you to Mr. Deane. Do you happen to know what they were offhand, or something that you want to provide later?
Mr. Deane.
That's fine. I know I'm putting you on the spot. I just didn't know if maybe you had something on hand now, but if not, you can send it through an email offline. That's fine.
I will send an email if that's helpful for staff, but that's just a tip of the iceberg of the issues I want communicated. But yes, I'll be happy to do that for you, Councillor.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I just wanted to know what I was going to correlate to. And you brought up a lot of very good points, but the photograph repeat was a new one for me. So I just wanted to know if there's something specific that I could point to as an example and get some clarity on that, because I would like that question answered too, as well as many other questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none. I did just want to clarify two things. So one, our staff have actually won the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award, and also our treasurer has won the Municipal Finance Officers Association Leadership Award for their transparency and all the work that they do in our budgets around here at the town of Aurora. So we appreciate the work that they do in that. And also no veto has ever been presented in regards to the 2026 budget. So thank you. Call the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? That carries. Move to item 6.1, 2026 Operating Budget Community Partner Business Plans and Presentations. 6.1.1 Central York Fire Services. This is binder tab 14. A presentation to be provided by our fire chief for Central York Fire Services, Mr. Rocco Volpe. Chief, welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, through you to all members of council, it's my pleasure to walk you through a high-level overview of the proposed 2026 operating and capital budgets for Central York Fire Services. The Central York Fire Services budget process consists of it's a five-step process. As you can see on your screen, we have checked off the first three steps. Newmarket Council sets the budget guidelines. We've completed the step 2, where Newmarket Finance works with CYFS Management to develop a draft budget. We've also completed step 3, where JCC reviewed the budget and made recommendations. And this evening, I'm just at step number 4, where we will be delivering it to the Aurora Council and looking for comments. And of course, it will then return back to the Newmarket Council to approve the budget. The next slide in front of you is a high-level overview of the budget highlights. The operating budget is based on a Central York Fire Services 10-year financial plan, which we work with both finance departments from Aurora and Newmarket. The shared service allocation uses a weighted average over the past 3 years and is based on the following 3 factors. And that's based on call volume, population, and assessment value. Our both finance teams from Aurora and Newmarket participate in the service allocation and provide those percentage. The capital budget was prepared with efforts to identify future year spending for ongoing projects. The next slide in front of you explains to you our 2026 operating budget. Further details on the operating increase allocation are shown in the table. Wages and benefit increases are in accordance with the current collective agreement. Fuel budget was reduced as we were seeing a reduction in 2025 costs due to the removal of the consumer carbon tax. We have reallocated this amount to budget lines and are seeing more increased cost pressures. The vehicle repair and maintenance has been increased to account for the size of the fleet and alignment with previous year spending trends. Dispatch services has been increased due to the service rate increases. As a matter of fact, at our last JCC, Deputy Chief Waters informed JCC that the contract has come to an end at the end of the year and will be renewing January 1st for an additional 5. The Asset Management Fund, as previously mentioned, this contribution amount is to set aside funds for future asset replacements. And finally, support costs. This increases for the shared costs that support CYFS, for example, human resources, IT, payroll, accounting, procurement, legal, and communication. The next slide shows you our 2026-27 capital budget. The 2026 capital budget has been prepared with efforts to identify the future year spending for ongoing projects. Where there is an ongoing spending, we refer this to as a capital spending authority. These costs have been reflected in the table as the 2027 CSA. For 2026, included in the capital and replacement of bunker gear, PPE, firefighter equipment, renovations to Station 4-1, 2 vehicle replacements, some furniture at 3 stations, some training props, and the purchase of a drone. The funding of the capital is mainly from Asset Management Fund with some funding from the CYFS reserves. The total CYFS capital budget for 2026 is $1,058,000. Mr. Mayor, this concludes my high-level presentation. Before I conclude, I just wanted to take an opportunity to thank Director Rachel Van Kessel from the town of Aurora, Director Andrea Tang, who's with me in the audience, for their assistance and help navigating us through the 2026 budget process. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Councilor, we had a motion to approve for information. See for information, Councilor Thompson, Councilor Kim. Any questions for Chief on binder tab 14 or the presentation? Seeing none. Chief, thank you very much for coming out, and thank you and all the members of Central York Fire Service for all the work that you do for our communities. All the vote, all those in favor? Opposed? That carries. Next, we have the Aurora Historical Society. It's binder tab 15. Presentation to be provided by Jeffrey Dodd, co-chair, Alan Lambert, co-chair, Daniel McGowan, treasurer, and Kathleen Vahi, curator manager. Welcome.
Thank you.
I don't have to remind you 5 minutes. Oh, 10. Oh, he gets 10?
Have any of these ever gone
I don't know, 5 minutes.
less than
Go ahead.
5 minutes? Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, members of the Budget Committee. It's a pleasure to be here to present the Aurora Historical Society budget presentation. My name, Jeffrey Dodd. Unfortunately, our other co-chair, Alan Lambert, was called away on a family issue. So we wish him well on that. I am joined by our treasurer, Dan McGowan, Kathleen, our curator manager, and our new board member, actually, Tim McCutcheon. So we're pleased that they could come with them. Just some quick background on the AHS. We've been serving the citizens since, actually, that should be residents of Aurora, since 1963. We established the Aurora Collection and the Aurora Museum, made significant contributions to the original restorations of the Church Street School, raising in excess of $700,000 for that project back around 2005. We own and operate Aurora's only National Historic Site, one of the few in the York region. We promote the benefits and the interest in Aurora's rich heritage, and we provide innovative programming and learning opportunities. I won't go into our mission statement. In our vision statement, we're actually starting a strategic planning process this Saturday, and no doubt that will change. So I'll just refer that to you at this time. Next slide, please. Oh, Kathleen's got it. Thank you. We will go through our highlights very quickly. Number of programs in terms of engaging the residents of Aurora, whether at Hillary House, the Aurora Street Festival, the Aurora Chamber of Commerce Street Festival, the Chamber of Commerce Home Show, the town's multicultural events. We quite enjoy getting out and meeting people in their habitat as opposed to having them come to ours, although everyone is always welcome at Hillary House. We did complete the transfer of the Godfrey collection, and Kathleen will go into that. And so that's, we're very pleased to have completed that. We completed a number of exhibitions this year with a variety of partners, and we are continuing with our external fundraising. We've been quite successful with charitable gaming through the Richmond Hill Hall Charities Association and also Market Brewing in Newmarket. So we're quite pleased with that progress. Slide. And I'm going to turn that over to Kathleen.
Thank you, Jeff. So I just wanted to report to council that, as Jeff mentioned, we did complete a 90% transfer of the Godfrey collection to the Archives of Ontario. And we thank the town of Aurora for their continued support over a number of years as we managed through that. We did host, as Jeff was saying, a number of exhibitions, partnered with the Museum and Archives, a master's student and Aurora resident, as well as other local community organizations. This is our 2025 scorecard. So on the left, you see our goals that we presented at the meeting last year, and on the right is what we achieved. So, so far we've implemented 34 programs, and we have 24 programs and 9 remaining in the year. Presented 3 exhibitions, have provided 1,472 hours as of the end of September in volunteer opportunities. We have welcomed 1,085 people to Hillary House. And just as a note, we have seen increased tour visitation this past summer, back up to COVID and sometimes higher than pre-COVID numbers. So that's really exciting for us. We educated community members through outreach through 9 programs. That's 662 people. And as Jeff was mentioning, participated in 6 OLG charitable gaming assignments with several left to go. And we also partnered with Market Brewing in Newmarket for other sessions as well. For our KPIs, these are sort of double listed here. Although we saw a decrease in the number of programs offered because of staff resources, we refocused our efforts on the most impactful events, and the number of people welcomed into Hillary House has actually increased when compared to last year. While the number of people reached via outreach has slightly decreased due to participating in fewer opportunities, we still believe that 600 people for a staff of 1.5 is still pretty good. We have restructured our volunteer program and have seen a positive trend in consistent volunteering. So the same people coming back to volunteer on several bases, and which has increased our volunteer contributions. And finally, our membership and online follower numbers has stayed fairly consistent when compared to last year. However, a pivot away from social media posts has resulted in a decrease in engagements when compared to previous years. As a small volunteer-led nonprofit charitable organization with big aspirations, we continue to face ongoing challenges. This includes enhancing our fundraising revenue, increasing volunteer engagement, assessing the critical maintenance and needs of this 160-year-old Hillary House in a timely fashion, and securing stable funding that will ensure we can tackle the more complicated and multi-phased restoration projects successfully. Oh, I went too far. And just this slide recognizes the many organizations of Aurora and beyond and the importance of our partnerships. And we're very fortunate to be able to consider many of these organizations as partners, and we'll continue to foster these and actively search for new ones in 2026. And now I will hand it over to Dan.
Thank you, Kathleen, and good evening, Mr. Chair and the board of the Budget Committee. My name is Dan McGowan, and I'm the treasurer of the Historical Society at this point, and I'm pleased to be here to present our budget request. As per our submission to the town, we are requesting an operating budget that's in line with what had been set forth previously, and that would be for $89,400. We are also making a one-time special request for a capital budget of $150,000 to help us with much needed repairs to Hillary House. If you look at this slide, it highlights the revenues we have: revenue from operations, which is admissions, gift shop, membership purchases, rentals, things of that nature. Donations, very important to our society, and we had a very generous donation of $10,000 in 2024, which helped our financial position. We had a bequest of $10,000 in 2025. So those don't always come along, but they're very welcome for sure. In fundraising, we had 8 assignments with the Richmond Hill Bingo World and 3 with Market Brewing. Market Brewing was a new endeavor in 2025. And we will continue on with that. In terms of grants, we have the grant from the town of Aurora, the Community Museum Operating Grant, the Canada Summer Jobs, and new in 2025 is the Summer Employment Opportunities Grant. So as you can see, we're actively pursuing new revenue streams, and our goal is to increase our other sources of revenue so that the town's grant represents a lower percentage of the overall total revenue. In terms of expenditures, you can see on the slide our operating expenses. We've also presented the audited operating results for 21 to 24, the budget and projected operating results for 2025, and our projected results for 2026 to 2028. You can see that we increased our grant in 2026 and 2027, 2028 by 2%. Our operating expenditures for 2025 are higher than budgeted, due largely to a 35% increase in insurance and necessary upgrades with respect to IT. At the bottom line, we expect to recognize an operating surplus in 2025 of $11,000 due to the $10,000 bequest noted, and a modest surplus in 2026 of $767. Going forward in 2027 and 2028, again, we have modest surpluses budgeted. The board is going to be addressing ways to improve our operating results in the upcoming strategic planning sessions that Jeff spoke of starting this Saturday. On the capital budget side, thank you so much for incorporating the request into the town's budget. We really do appreciate it. The members of the committee would be aware of the discussions between the town and AHS relative to the physical condition of the property and the need for improvement with respect to the foundation and other work. We presented the ERA report, which broke down priorities between 1, 2, and 3, short, medium, long term. The amount that we're requesting is to deal with the highest priority issues that need to be addressed, which is mainly foundational repairs to ensure that the house remains standing and safe. And with that, I will turn it over to Jeff.
If I can just get you to wrap it up.
Couple of minutes, if I may.
Councillor Gallo, Councillor Thompson, all those in favor? Opposed? That
Process
carries.
is very important, sir.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Kathleen has already spoken a bit about our volunteers, and I won't go into that, but from a straight dollars and cents, it's well over $20,000 if you went just on the basic minimum wage. So that's a monetary value, but the real value of volunteers, as you all know, is simply the fact that we could not do what we do without our volunteers. So we are extremely grateful for all the volunteers who come out and help us do all sorts of things, whether it's helping with teas or raking leaves. And we also, perhaps as part of that volunteer, is operations department, the town of Aurora, helps us every year with dropping a bin so that we can put our yard waste in that. So that's very much appreciated as well. Our 2026 goals, we're looking at 25 programs and special events. We wish to present 2 exhibitions. We're shooting for over 2,000 hours in volunteer opportunities. We're looking at welcoming 1,400 visitors to Hillary House. And we hope you do doors open again. That was a big bonus for us. Continue to educate community members through our outreach programs and explore new revenue and fundraising opportunities. This is the first slide for us this year. 38% of our visitors come from outside of York region. And you can see a little hard to see on the map, or it is for me anyways, as far away as China. And that one pinpoint that's looks like it's in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean is actually Bermuda. So we're very pleased. I mean, people are not flying to Aurora or flying into this area to visit Hillary House, but when they do visit this area, they look up things to do. Hillary House always pops to the top of the list. So we're quite grateful for the support in that area as well. That's just too far away from my glasses to read, but we continue to get great feedback from our visitors. And there's actually one quote there from a Doors Open visitor. That was great to see that come back this year. That was a big help. And that is it. I wish to thank you very much for your time. Before I go, I want to thank staff, specifically Jason and Robin, for their efforts in their gentle persuasion to get our budget figures in on time. It always comes as a surprise that we have to do the budgeting in. So thank you very much. And with that, any questions, we'd be happy to answer.
Thank you. Council, can I first get a motion to receive information? Councillor Reese, Councillor Kim. Any questions for the delegates to the presentation? Councillor Reese?
Thank you, Jeff and the group. It's always great to see you out here. I have a couple of questions, though, that may be not too relevant about the grant, but what's the membership now? And is it moving up? Is it steady? Is it moving down?
Kathleen?
Through you, Mayor. I'm sorry.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, it's staying pretty consistent, about 150 members. That's been a consistent level for the last 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
Council.
Looking for more, obviously. Yes, always. You don't have anything in here about your operating reserves. Is that available through you, Mayor?
Submit financial statements with our budget presentation.
Okay,
so it'll be in there.
Separate.
Separate.
In your binder. Yep.
It's in the binder. Sorry. That's it.
That's it. Thank you. Any other questions? Councillor Reese, did you push that by accident? Thank you. Seeing none, thank you for coming. All those in favor? Opposed? That carries. Next, we'll move to 6.1.3, Aurora Sports Hall of Fame. This is binder tab 15. Presentation to be provided by Javed Escom, President and Director, and Brian Roberts, Treasurer. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor Marakis, members of council and town staff, and ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Aurora Sports Hall of Fame, thank you for the opportunity to share an update on our activities, achievements, and future plans. Over the past year, our team of dedicated volunteers has continued to celebrate the power of sport, honoring Aurora's rich athletic heritage, connecting with our community, and inspiring residents of all ages. Tonight, we'll walk you through our 2025 highlights, key performance indicators, and community outreach initiatives before turning our attention to what's ahead in 2026, a year of growth, collaboration, and continued impact. Our message is simple. The Aurora Sports Hall of Fame isn't just about the past. It's about strengthening the sense of pride, belonging, and connection that defines our community today. Tonight, I'll provide a brief outline of who we are, share highlights from our 2025 programming and key performance indicators, review our community outreach efforts, and finally, look ahead to our 2026 objectives and budget. Our goal is to give you a clear picture of ASOF's continued impact in celebrating sport, building community pride, and honoring those who've brought recognition to Aurora through sport. At the heart of the Aurora Sports Hall of Fame is a simple purpose: to honor, celebrate, preserve, and share Aurora sports heritage. Our mission is carried out through three pillars: selecting and inducting deserving members of our community who've made outstanding contributions through sport, collecting and displaying artifacts that tell their stories, engaging in events and collaborations that strengthen our connection with the town and its residents. Everything we do is guided by our commitment to honor the past while inspiring the next generation of athletes, volunteers, and community leaders. Our vision is to ensure that ASOF remains inclusive and accessible, a place where everyone can experience and take pride in Aurora's rich sport history and culture. We're entirely volunteer-driven, 50-plus individuals strong, each with a strong appreciation for the positivity in sport and its power to unite. We see sport as a way of every resident to belong, to thrive, and to celebrate community. That spirit of belonging drives every program we deliver. In 2025, our outreach was visible, active, and wide-ranging across the town of Aurora. From the Aurora Farmers Market and Artisan Fair and Aurora Chamber of Commerce Street Festival to Canada Day festivities, the Winds Luncheon, and the 70th anniversary of the Aurora Soccer Club, the Aurora Sports Hall of Fame showed up where our community gathers. We were proud to participate in events like Emancipation Day hosted by the Aurora Black Caucus, the Town of Aurora Volunteer Fair, and the Aurora Cultural Center's Madame Jo exhibit, ensuring our presence reflected Aurora's diversity and community spirit. But behind every success, folks, are people who make it possible. So let's review our numbers. 50-plus volunteers contributed over 4,600 hours of their time, a value of more than $153,000 to the town. We welcomed 33 sponsors as part of our 12th annual induction celebration evening, equating to $36,650, plus $5,250 in advertising in our program guide, both impressive record numbers. And I received our silent auction numbers today. It was well over $6,000. In our roster of honored members, we have two here tonight, proudly stands at 54. These numbers speak and not just to activity, but to commitment to the way Aurora residents continue to invest in their own community through the Hall of Fame. Our 2025 programming was both ambitious and successful. Our third annual Celebrity Golf Classic hosted over 110 golfers and raised more than $13,500. Our first ever Midsummer Barbecue brought over 100 participants together in a casual, family-friendly setting. And if I may add, it was the very first event ever hosted at the new Slabtown Armory just 2 months prior to its official opening. It's a great example of our commitment to collaboration, finding ways to partner with local organizations and the business community to support and strengthen one another. And our 12th annual induction celebration evening, just a few nights ago, presented by Canadian Tire Aurora, was a highly attended event with over 215 attendees and over $41,000 raised through sponsorships and advertising. Each initiative reflects our focus on building community connection, celebrating achievement, and ensuring the long-term sustainability of the Aurora Sports Hall of Fame. As we look to 2026, our direction is crystal clear and forward-focused. We'll begin implementing our 2026 to 2029 strategic refresh, guided by a new agreement with the town of Aurora that supports growth and alignment. We'll also finally launch our annual mental health initiative, continuing exploring new impactful ways to elevate our Call to Action 87 campaign, reinforcing our ongoing support and responsibility for the Truth and Reconciliation Report and its important message. Volunteer engagement remains a top priority, including a new co-op student opportunities, and we're exploring creative funding opportunities to help us expand our space at 1400 Wellington Drive, which is the official home of the Aurora Sports Hall of Fame, creating a more visible, interactive experience for both residents and visitors. As you can see, 2025 was another active, engaging, successful year for the Aurora Sports Hall of Fame, one that culminated in an incredible induction celebration evening supported by our new champion sponsor, Canadian Tire Aurora. On behalf of Brian and I and everyone at the Aurora Sports Hall of Fame, I extend our sincere thanks to Mayor Marakis and Councillor Kim for joining us both at our VIP meet and greet and the annual induction celebration evening, where we proudly introduced and welcomed the class of 2025 inductees, one of which is here tonight, Erlinda Biondek, athlete in running. We're proud of how we continue to grow, balancing fiscal responsibility, expanding sponsorships, and strengthening community partnerships. At this point, I'll turn things over to Brian Roberts, who will walk you through the 2026 budget proposal and how it supports the delivery of our shared objectives for the year ahead. Brian?
Good evening, Mayor Marakis, members of council, town staff. Thank you, Javid, for the introduction, and thank you all for the opportunity to share an update of the Aurora Sports Hall of Fame's financial position and key highlights for your consideration tonight. To start, I'll direct your attention to our 2024 year-end financial statements. As of December 31st, 2024, our cash on hand totaled $124,716, which includes a mature GIC valued at $76,000. Within that total, $26,004 is allocated as a deferred grant designated for our capital project, the development of the Wayfinder system and the digital display screen. In reviewing the town of Aurora's proposed reserve fund policy, which recommends maintaining no more than 1 year of operating expenses in reserve, I'd like to take note that our reserves of $109,349 remain well within the policy's guidelines when compared to our 2024 operational expenses of $184,549. This demonstrates that Aurora Sports Hall of Fame continues to uphold strong governance and sound fiscal management, ensuring we maintain well-positioned for the long term. These funds are reinvested directly into our mission, allowing us to sustain operations, enhance community programs, and maintain our financial health. When you look at our financial trends, the numbers remain consistent with the prior year, with a modest 2% year-over-year increase in both revenues and expenses. Please note that the 2025 figures are not yet finalized. The numbers presented reflect our approved 2025 budget. That said, we successfully executed another annual Celebrity Golf Classic and induction celebration evening, both of which continue to perform exceptionally well. Our budget proposal request of $33,010 includes a modest 2% increase, which equates to $650. Though it's important to acknowledge that our operating expenses have risen on average of over 7% and some costs climbing as much as 30%. We understand the increase is not yet approved, and we request council to advise accordingly. In response to rising costs, we've taken a strategic and focused approach to resource allocation, carefully prioritizing which community events we support and how we invest our funds to ensure the greatest impact. Despite these challenges, our reliance on municipal funding continues to decline. In 2023, our total expenses were $145,000, with town support roughly $31,000, representing about 21% of our total budget. In 2024, our expenses grew to over $184,000. Town support remained somewhat similar, meaning that the funding now represents about 17% of our overall budget. This demonstrates that while we deeply value and rely on the municipality's partnership, the Aurora Sports Hall of Fame is becoming increasingly self-sustaining, supported by sponsorship, community engagement, and volunteer contributions. We remain committed to operating with financial efficiency and fiscal responsibility in every decision we make.
Can I
Looking-
get you to wrap up, Brian, please?
Yep. 1 minute. Looking ahead,
Councillor Kim, Councillor Gallo, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Go ahead.
Looking ahead, we budgeted 15,000 over a 2-year period from our capital reserves for the SARC Aurora Sports Hall of Fame project. From a sports tourism perspective, the enhancement display area will proudly showcase the remarkable achievements of Aurora's athletes, coaches, builders, and soon teams and members of the media who have shaped our community's sports heritage. We are proud of how progressively our organization has evolved and grown, and we look forward to continuing our strong partnership with the town of Aurora, working together to celebrate our shared history, inspire future generations, and strengthen the fabric of our community through sport. I'll invite Javed back for closing remarks, and then we'll answer any questions you may have.
In closing, the Aurora Sports Hall of Fame stands as a reflection of what makes our town exceptional, a community rooted in pride and shared achievement. The work we do is about far more than celebrating sport. It's about documenting and preserving stories that inspire, fostering and preserving stories that inspire, fostering a sense of belonging, and creating opportunities for residents of all ages to see themselves reflected in Aurora's legacy of excellence. Every event, every volunteer hour, and every partnership brings us together to that goal. As we look ahead, we remain focused in our commitment to collaboration, working alongside the municipality, local organizations, and our generous sponsors to continue growing the Aurora Sports Hall of Fame's reach and impact. With your ongoing support, we'll keep finding creative and impactful ways to celebrate Aurora's champions, elevate our community spirit, and ensure the next generation has a place where their dreams and accomplishments can be honored for years to come.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councillor, a motion to receive for information. Councillor Weiss, Councillor Thompson, any questions? Councillor Weiss, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. And I hope you know that what you do is very valued in the community. It's important to celebrate sport. It's inspiring and aspiring for all of our young athletes. So thanks for the work that you've done. I do have a couple of questions, though, that I want to ask. And you brought it up about you said you were 100% volunteer driven, yet you've got some costs in here that I don't know where they belong, but I'd like you to let me know about them. You have in here an amount of 17,138 for event management. So is that the event planner who does the work and manages for your organization or the induction ceremony?
Javed?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, Councillor Weiss, we retained Simonis Group, Phiona Gobin. She's been on contract with us for now coming 3 years.
Okay,
Councillor?
thank you. It wasn't clear, so I wanted to ask a question. The other thing is, I think you have an item in there, 22,852 in admin and management. So that isn't the same person. This is a different person, or it's a different bucket of expenses that you have for admin and management, maybe through you to Brian.
Brian?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I'm just wondering where you're looking for that.
Councillor?
I know it was on your report where you brought it forward. It was.
Oh, sorry. Was the amount $22,852?
That's it. Thanks.
Okay, so that's not admin and management. That was the special project, the expansion and refresh at the SARC.
Good. I'm glad you brought that up. Also, thank you. So can you describe what that refresh was? I mean, we know that the SARC gym was built, and of course there was some displacement that had to occur there. So was that your contribution towards the repositioning? Was that the refurbishing that happened through you, Mayor?
Brian?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, that was you'll find there's a wayfinder there now, and everything had been taken down and then put back. And so that was part of a grant that we received to put the wayfinder in, and as well as the interactive screen.
Great. Well, thank you. And that was the other question, because I wanted to know, because I didn't see it in your reserve that you were taking it out of your reserve. So you got a grant to do that. Fantastic. I do want to point out, I went back through some history, as I want to do. In 2022, there was a reported expenses of 91,489. And then you reported this year, just 3 years later, 189,000. Can you give us a little bit of insight as to the increase of the expenses that you've had over the last 3 years, what they're really, what they're due to, through you, Mayor?
Brian?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, we added the golf tournament, which was a significant amount of expenses, as well as over the last couple of years, costs of everything have gone up significantly. And that one in 2024 does include the additional special project for the refresh at the SARC.
Council.
Okay, thank you. The golf course or the golf tournament is expected to be a fundraiser, and I think I found that you actually made some money on the golf tournament. Is the majority of through your mayor, is the majority of the money that you get through the golf tournament come from sponsorship?
Brian?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, the bulk of it is through sponsorship. We also have an auction there as well.
Oh, okay.
Councillor?
Great, thank you. I've got a couple of other questions about from discrepancies I see from your from the presented budget that you have versus what's in your financial statements, but we can take that offline. I'd appreciate some time if you don't mind having a little time with me. Thank you. That's it for now. Other people?
Okay. Councillor Gallo?
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. I'm sorry I couldn't come to the event. I had planned on coming, but it's a family emergency I had to deal with. I'm not sure if it's to you or to staff. You guys don't have audited financial statements. Some other groups don't. Some do. What's the process that staff takes to review the financial statements on our behalf, or the finances of these groups on our behalf?
Mr. Van Kess?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I'm going to pass this along to Mr. Gartner, as he's the one that does the review.
Mr. Turner?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. The extent of our review aligns with the policy which we developed, which focuses on the reserve component of each partner's balance sheet. In terms of whether they are required to be audited or not, that's driven by policy requirements, which suggests they have to make $250,000 in revenue per year in order to justify the audited financial statements, of which this group don't make that much.
Councillor?
I'm aware. I'm just curious. Obviously, we all know when we see audited financial statements, there's a great deal of scrutiny. I'm wondering whether or not staff, when we see unaudited financial statements, to the extent to which they spend time on them. Through you, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Gardner?
To use, Mr. Mayor, we because they're unaudited, we don't spend any additional time in terms of reviewing them. They all receive a similar level of review.
Okay, thank you. That was it.
Councillor Gardner?
Hi, thank you. Could you clarify what education programs you're doing?
Javed?
Absolutely. Through you, Mr. Mayor, we have our education chair here, Kristen DeYoung. So she does a number of things. We've developed a comic book program. She's spearheaded for now a few years and have come out with volume number 2. She, through her team, do the Sport History Alive. That is a classroom, but now it's actually, she goes on site or at the Hall of Fame location and does a whole history, basically sport history lesson with specific artifacts, 3D imagery, things like that. We are now accepting, we've actually reached out to retirement residents where we go out and do a presentation there, Kristen and her team. And we've had requests of organizations coming to the hall and doing a tour and a lesson around that. So There's other initiatives that Kristen is working through with the education community that also just looks at possibly going back into the schools and doing some courses and classes there. In addition to that, she's gone out to community outreach programs like our friends at the senior center and had done presentations with them also.
Councillor?
Thank you. I'm just wondering why it's gone up why it's so much more expensive 2024, 2025. Oh, through you, Mr. Mayor.
Brian?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, are you referring to from 23 to 24?
Right, and then yes, in particular then 24 to 25.
So we've always needed to spend more on education, and that was always our initiative. And in 2023, we didn't have a lot of things to going on that year, and so 2024 was when we got all that Java just discussed going. I think it started the fall of 23 and carried into 24. But we should be spending approximately what I'm budgeting for the next 2 years.
Councillor?
Thank you. Same question for community engagement and outreach. It increased quite a bit from 2024 to 2025.
Brian?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, 2023 was more of a realistic number. For anomaly reasons, 2024 was lower. And then we're aiming to get it back up to 2023 levels.
Council?
Thank you. I may have missed it with Councillor Weiss's question, but the special project that was quite expensive in 2024 and has come obviously down in price. Could you just tell me why?
Brian?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, that was a special project that when the gymnasium was being built and the hall was removed and then it was refreshed with, you'll see there's a screen there and a wayfinder, and I think some of those expenses are going to trickle on into 2025.
Councillor?
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Gilliland, first time.
Thank you. Through Mr. Mayor to Brian. I'm just wondering, did your organization receive funding from the Mayor's Golf Tournament funds?
Brian?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, yes, we did.
Councillor?
Thank you. I thought I saw something in the minutes for that, because I do go over them, and I just don't see anything here that points to that, or am I mistaken?
Brian?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, it would fall under the fundraising category where it was higher in 2024. It would be under that line item was $72,084.
Councillor?
Sorry, on which page of your presentation?
The budget 2026, where it shows fundraising under revenues for 2024 of $72,084.
Councillor?
Okay, so the fundraising and so forth, you've combined from the Mayor's Golf Tournament to for what other fundraising? I just kind of try to understand. So at least it's delineated. I would just like to see that as a separate line item so we can see, because I don't even know how much you got from that. I think it was $5,000.
That's correct. It was 5,000. Just
from my memory. And so the remaining of the fundraising that you acquired was from the golf tournament, or was it other things? It would be nice to kind of know, like,
in that category, through you, Mr. Mayor, in that category of fundraising, it includes sponsorship. I believe it also includes the Mayor's Golf Tournament, and as well, it includes a part of a grant that we received as well.
Councillor?
Okay. I'll have to ask you some more questions offline. I just like to see things a bit separated so I can see where it's coming from, just so I understand all the buckets, because when we get it all together and looped, I'm just trying to help myself understand, because obviously the town is helping, giving you some fundraising for this initiative through education. If I may ask, as far as the $5,000, I wasn't privy to the meeting, but what was that utilized for? Was that also for education, or was that for something else?
Through the chair?
Through you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Brian?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, the $5,000 was added to our operating budget. I don't believe it was specifically earmarked.
No, we're looking to earmark that for our mental health program that we're going to launch in 2026.
Counselor?
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Weiss, second time?
Yeah, just I wanted other people to ask you questions, so they asked a number of mine. Is your charitable status is based upon some charitable purpose? Can you tell me what the charitable purpose is?
Brian?
Through you, Mayor, to
Thank you.
maybe if it's not Brian, maybe Java.
Brian, go ahead.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, the charitable status, I believe, is based on the education component.
Okay, great.
Counselor?
Thank you. And so I went through your financial statements over the last little while, and it shows that you have indeed spent $12,000 over the last 2 years. But your request for funding, however, in the last 3 years includes $42,800. Is there a reason why you haven't spent that money? Is it, and that's why part of it is in reserve through you?
Brian?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I'm not 100% sure I understand the question, but it's not entirely included in for use on education. It's also for our part of our operations.
Counselor?
Okay. And then there's one last item you have there. You have a donation to the Aurora Sports Hall of Fame Charity Golf Classic. So that's an expense on your side. So you donated money to yourself through you, Mayor?
Brian?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. No, they were donated to various charitable organizations over the last couple of years.
Counselor?
I can't remember who they are.
Javid, did you?
We can get those. We can get those for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it just appears in your financial, or not in your statement, but your presentation. There was a $4,000 as ASHOF, the Celebrity Golf Classic, and it was a item going out. So I thought maybe it was you donating money to your own fundraiser for maybe charitable purposes in order to make sure your accounting was right when you went to CRA with it. So
No, that was a
you've got something else.
donation to the.
One second. Through the chair.
Through you.
Through
Sorry.
the chair.
Thank
you.
Through you, Mr.
Javid,
Mayor.
go ahead.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. That was a donation to the local Canadian Mental Health York Region Association that we partnered up with that year. We donated $4,000 of our earnings.
Okay, well, it's just an error in what you assigned it to because it just looked odd to me. Great, thank you. That's all for now.
Thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, gentlemen, thank you very much for coming this evening. Call the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? That carries. 6.1.4, Aurora Public Library, binder tab 15. Presentation to be provided by Jodi Marr, Chief Executive Officer, Lauren Hanna, Board Chair, and Julie Rocco, Business Manager. Ladies, welcome.
Good evening, Mayor Maracas and members of council. My name is Lauren Hanna. I'm here this evening as the chair of the Aurora Public Library Board. I'm also joined by our senior management team and appreciate them coming, as well as our CEO, Jodi Marr. So first, I wanted to just thank the town and members of council for your continued support of the library. It makes what we do possible. It has been another incredible year at the library with record numbers of visits and record of materials in circulation. The library helps residents connect, have a sense of belonging, and learn. And we are so proud of that. Now I'd like to turn it over to Jodi.
All right. Thank you, Lauren. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to present our APL's 2026 operating budget request. Aurora Public Library continues to exceed expectations, reaching new milestones in community use and participation. A well-used library demonstrates the value we provide to residents and reflects a community that is connected, supported, and evolving together. Here's a little history. For over 165 years, Aurora Public Library has grown with the town, transforming from a small reading room to a cornerstone of community life at Aurora Town Square. Throughout its history, the library has reflected Aurora's spirit of progress. Each new chapter, from the Mechanics Hall of the 1800s to today's modern library, has strengthened our role as a gathering place for learning, creativity, and civic pride. The Aurora Public Library is not just part of the town's history, it continues to shape its future. So using the Valuing Ontario Public Libraries Toolkit, APL measured the social return on investment we had in our community in 2024. It challenges misconceptions about free services by quantifying the invisible social and economic impact of the public library. Of the N6 libraries, Aurora Public Library offers the most open hours at a single location. But we are not just open, we are continuously delivering service with a high value of impact to our community. Based on 2024 service and usage data, Aurora Public Library delivers an estimated $2,282 in community value for every hour it is open. This translates to over $150,000 in value generated each week through programs, services, technology access, space usage, and community engagement. The VOLT framework measures Aurora Public Library's community impact across 7 connected domains that together show how libraries strengthen every part of community life. It makes the impact we had visible and measurable. In 2024, Aurora Public Library generated a 392% return on our operational investment. With rising engagement in 2025, that value will continue to grow. This interconnectivity is reflected in our key projects for 2025, like the SARC Browse and Borrow book kiosk. So launched in July, this satellite collection connects the library with another high traffic community resource, the SARC, offering convenient access to books and information. This partnership with the town expands access by meeting residents in a non-traditional library space. It's a modern collaborative approach that makes the library more visible and accessible. It's more than a pickup point, it's a meaningful extension of the library's role in Aurora. At the end of last year, we launched the Library of Things, letting residents borrow non-traditional items to save money, reduce waste, and try new experiences without ownership costs. Since then, the collection has saved the community an estimated $55,000, offering tools, tech, and recreational items that meet real needs, like the skate aid trainer introduced after the ice rink opened at Aurora Town Square. Several parents shared how being able to borrow the skate aid trainer helped them have quality family time with their children and how it made their child's first time on skates more enjoyable for everyone. These items bring real value to families and individuals, showing how the library continues to respond creatively to community needs and enhance quality of life across Aurora. Just as the Library of Things helps residents access practical tools, our Discovery Pass collection offers access to experiences that enrich lives. Launched in August, so not that long ago, our Discovery Pass collection gives residents free admission to 8 cultural attractions across Ontario. During times of financial stress, families often have to prioritize essentials like housing or groceries over leisure activities. The Discovery Pass collection helps bridge that gap by offering meaningful experiences that support well-being, connection, and lifelong learning. Since its launch, we've had 112 checkouts, saving residents over $9,000 and opening doors to art, nature, and culture. APL's circulation is forecasted to reach 650,000 items in 2025. That's a 20% increase since 2023. This steady increase deep the community values access to a diverse and responsive collection. A healthy collection is one of the foundations of library service. It ensures that every resident, regardless of age, ability, or background, can find materials that meet their needs. Our collection spans everything from traditional materials to accessible formats, as well as multilingual materials that reflect Aurora's diversity. Continued investment in the collection strengthens literacy, supports learning, and fosters inclusion, core elements of a vibrant and connected community. Our programs reflect what matters most to Aurora residents. From early literacy and youth study spaces to newcomer events and cultural celebrations, every program helps build skills and community. Participation has never been higher, showing that residents rely on the library not only for information, but for experiences that enrich their lives, especially when other opportunities feel out of reach. We have our creative studio. Beyond borrowing, the library continues to inspire creativity and learning through hands-on experiences. APL's Creative Studio supports entrepreneurship and learning with tools like 3D printers, sewing machines. Residents use it to prototype small business ideas, complete school projects, and explore new crafts or technologies. Beyond library-led programs, it serves as an ideal space for partnerships. Over the past year, we've hosted workshops with organizations such as the ABLE Network and the Lighthouse School for Autism. Many of these participants do not have access to tools like this elsewhere, and these sessions give them valuable opportunities for experiential learning. Our expertise in this area was also recognized by the York Region District School Board, which invited APL to train its teachers on their cricket machines. APL maintains over 45 active community partnerships with organizations to help them deliver services where they're needed most. These collaborations bring expertise into the library and connect residents to supports and literacy, settlement, employment, and wellness. This year, we are expanding our community impact through new partnerships with staff from the York Region Homelessness Community Programs in order to strengthen supports for people experiencing or at risk of homelessness. We are also expanding our outreach to long-term care and retirement communities, ensuring residents of all ages have access to circumstances and remain engaged and supported. From reading buddies to school visits and summer reading club, APL's education programs build a strong foundation for learning. So far this year, we've delivered 352 story times with over 8,200 participants. Our college and university fair draws more than 1,000 attendees annually, connecting youth with a future of possibilities. The weeks leading up to high school exams are among our busiest, with students relying on the library as a trusted study space. This year alone, we have had more than 9,800 residents who have used our study rooms for quiet space to work. APL supports a culture of learning across Aurora. APL celebrates the many cultures, languages, and identities that make up Aurora through inclusive community-driven partnerships and events. We collaborate with local partners to host diverse celebrations, as well as promote cultural awareness, education, and understanding. When partnership organizations face challenges, such as when Catholic Community Services of York Region lost mid-year funding, APL was able to step in to provide support that they needed to keep valued cultural programs like the traditional Chinese painting program running. APL works to ensure that diversity remains one of Aurora's greatest strengths. Newcomers, as we celebrate the many cultures that make up Aurora, we also continue to focus on supporting those who are new to our community, helping them build connections, access resources, and feel at home from the very beginning. APL plays a vital role in helping newcomers settle, connect, and thrive in Aurora through initiatives such as English Conversation Circle, the Newcomers Fair, and partnerships with the Welcome Center. Aurora Public Library has played a key role in activating Aurora Town Square, extending beyond our walls to offer programs that energize the plaza and the performance hall. From Parachute Club, an outdoor adventure, to author talks, film screenings, and inclusive events, we've made Town Square a welcoming gathering place for all ages, partnering with the town on activities like from story times to the winter skating season. Our collaboration with the Aurora Cultural Center, Museum and Archives, and town staff continue to strengthen this shared civic space. Importantly, all of this has been achieved within our current operating budget, demonstrating strong stewardship and partnership. With sustained support, we can continue building on this success and ensure Aurora Town Square remains a lively destination for learning, arts, and community connection. Library program attendance continues to rise in 2025, and it's projected to reach over 36,000, the highest in our history. According to the 2024 Ontario Library Statistics Report, Aurora Public Library leads all other N6 libraries and one of our southern neighbors for program attendance. Traditional measures like visits, program attendance, and circulation show how active we are, while the Volt demonstrates why that activity matters, linking library use directly to social and economic impact. The steady rise in library visits show that we are not just busier, but more essential. Residents are using the library to fill a gap, be it financial or otherwise. In 2025, Aurora Public Library is projected to reach its highest ever in-person visits with 412,000, a 30% increase over in 2024 and a 57% increase over our pre-pandemic record. Visits have rebounded from approximately 102,000 in 2022 to over 315,000 in 2024, a 208% increase in just 2 years. Quarterly averages now exceed 90,000 visits, showing consistent year-round engagement. This growth highlights the library's strong return on investment and reaffirms its role as an essential part of our town. Aurora Public Library is busier than ever, but that success also brings with it financial pressures. Our costs for vendors, technology, and program supplies continue to rise, and we are doing more than ever by expanding our services with partners beyond our library's walls. Inflation compounds this challenge, and a busier environment brings more complex situations for staff to manage. We are focused on supporting our team and making sure we have the right resources and safeguards in place to protect both the library and the municipality. Despite these pressures, we continue to manage resources responsibly, so every investment delivers strong value to the community. Aurora Public Library remains deeply committed to accessibility and service excellence. Over the past 4 years, Aurora Public Library has followed a disciplined, sustainable budgeting approach aligned with the town's multi-year plan. For 2026, the final year of this cycle, we are asking to maintain the planned 2.0% operating increase, which works out to only a 0.8% net levy impact after the town's 1.2% assessment growth, or $33,500 over last year. A 0% increase would effectively mean a 1.2% cut, undermining the stability of this multi-year plan that was the multi-year plan was designed to provide. Public libraries are not luxuries. They are essential community infrastructure, as vital as roads or water systems. Libraries put people first, providing equitable access to information, technology, and lifelong learning, bridging the gap between those with resources and those without. Our history shows that Aurora has been a community that understands this principle and wants to support growth, learning, and connection for everyone who calls Aurora home. Thank you for your time and your thoughtful consideration of our operating request.
Thank you, Jodi. Councilor, can I get a motion to receive? Councilor Thompson, Councilor Gallo. Questions? Councilor Gallo, go ahead.
Thank you. And wow, what a fantastic presentation and great news story. I don't say that because it's something new or being on your board. I can share what the library does and the value it brings to the community. And I see staff there. And quite frankly, I miss being on the board and seeing all of you, although you're in good hands with the gentleman to my right and to my left. I don't have any questions. I just wanted to say that you guys are doing and continue to do a fantastic job.
Councilor Kim.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And thank you, Jodi, for delegating. I think most of us, if not all of us, have at one point served on the board, and we appreciate the work that library staff and the library itself does for our community. You know, I think in the last 10 years especially, we've seen the library evolve and adapt to not just lending out books and audio. It's gone to digital. You have cultural shows and display services for new Canadians and a place to hang out. And now we have the Library of Things, where we're loaning out sewing machines and camera kits and everything like that. So it really goes to show how much our library staff have adapted to this environment. So there's a slide in the presentation where you talk about the financial pressures. And so through you, Mr. Mayor, to Jodi, where are the areas that are most acute, and how do you plan on mitigating them should you not receive the asked for inflationary increase?
Jodi.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. That's going to be really tough. There is we are a unionized environment, and so staffing is one of our greatest costs. And as the town also knows, staffing, you have contractual agreements, staffing goes up quite a bit. But one of the bigger vendor pressures is we're seeing a lot of library-specific vendors increase their costs through tariffs and other things in excess of inflation, so up to 5% year over year, as well as a shift from the software shift, everything's shifting to subscription-based services. So before we could save and purchase things out of the capital, and now we can't. It all comes out of operating. So those are a couple of the higher pressures that we're facing as we move forward. Some of the things that we can cut, we can obviously collections will be something. We can still maintain wonderful collection for the community, but we could reduce the amount of money we put into collections year over year. in order to meet the needs of 0% increase. There may be some technology and other things that we can pull back on and save till future operating. But shifts in library staffing, such as my new role and other changes in the management team, do give us some cost savings. So there is a little bit of gapping in that area as well.
Counselor?
Great. Thank you very much. And thank you for the great work you did as acting CEO, and congratulations on the official title.
Counselor Thompson?
Thank you. Thank you, Jodi, and members of the board for being here tonight. Just to speak to the success that we've had over the last year, we heard at the outset, it's record-breaking numbers with regards to visitation, with circulation, with program participation. You had the one slide that shows that, we project 420,000, I think it was, in 2025, and it's certainly been a significant increase year over year for the last 2 years. What do you feel it's attributed to?
Jodi?
To you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Good question. We have made a lot of really positive changes at the library. We have been able to modernize quite a bit. People really like our space, but we've also made a lot of changes when it comes to programming and collection development. So traditional library programs tend to be, story times would be every once in a while and things like that. We've doubled down and said, no, we can do this within our existing envelope. And we have more partnerships than ever. We look for these opportunities. And when we make sure that we maintain our mandate that all of this is free to the community, and that's really, really important. Town Square has definitely played a large role in increasing the library's numbers. We did see quite a bit of increase since September of last year when Town Square opened, and we've been able to find ways to partner with them in great spaces to work and continue to build that. So people are coming to Town Square, they're using the skating rink, and they are like, oh man, I want to teach my kid to skate. And we put up a sign that said, borrow a skate trainer right in the library. They come in, they get a library card, they are able to borrow the tools they need, and they find out more and more about us. And next thing you know, they're a longtime customer.
Councilor?
Thank you. During my time on council and even beforehand, I've always remarked at how successful the library is. It truly is a jewel in our community. It's a testament to the work you do, to all the staffs, the work that they do, to the board, volunteers, and everybody. And I'm excited to see where it'll continue to grow and prosper. Thank you.
Councilor Weiss?
Thank you. Jodi, it's a success story. I miss being on the board as well. It's a vibrant place because you and the staff keep it vibrant as well. So I want to congratulate you on that. I'm very interested in the Volt though, because it's an economic and social impact. Can you give us all a little bit more information on Volt and how it objectively provides the information we need about identifying impact?
Jodi?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. So being able to demonstrate what libraries do is really difficult because a lot of it is not being able to be quantified. So the Volt was developed through the Ontario Library Service and a Nordic Institute, and they looked at very different parts of like those 7 greater domains and where libraries touched. It also is this is our first year doing it. It's also a great tool because we can look at it and go, oh, we're low in this area. What else can we do to build up and provide more in this area? So I'll use the space example. The library has post passive and active space. And so something like seating is measured through the Volt. So they'll say, okay, library seating, let's say it's the same as getting a cup of coffee. They actually measure it lower at $2. So if the library has 200 open seats and they are used throughout this many hours and someone comes in and sits per day, that means that you have $141,000, and that was our in seating. So that's how they break it down, and they do that for each section. It's quite an interesting process.
Councilor?
Great. It sounds a lot like the STEAM and the others we use for tourism. It's just an anticipation of what people are spending or the value of it. So I'm really happy you're doing that, and it looks really good on on a presentation with the amount of impact that you're providing. I see in your spreadsheet that you're doing a contribution to the capital plan. And that's, do you have sufficient funding stream to be able to meet some of your goals for the capital plan? I didn't really see the capital plan identified in here, but can you tell me a little bit about that?
To you, Mr. Mayor.
Through you,
Thank you.
Mr.
The library always puts a certain amount of funds aside for the capital plan. As you know, there is a bylaw in place where any overages we have goes back to the town of Aurora. So we need to purposefully save outside of any overages. Our current capital is only at about 1.3. Development charges, as we all know, are slightly up in the air. So we did get our numbers from the town, but even with low estimates on development charges, we may not be able to build a larger capital as we go forward. We can maintain, but yeah, we won't be building for future greater projects, depending on what we all decide to do for quite a bit into the future. And then the library also donated quite a bit of its development charges to help fund the bridge for Town Square. So we need to rebuild those back up as well. Did I cover it?
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry.
it. That's great. Yeah, and I know the satellite. You didn't talk about the satellites, but I know that the satellites are out there. Do you want to say a little bit about your work in the satellite to make sure that the APL is outside of the downtown area? Through you, Mayor.
Jodi?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, so we've done something really interesting that no other library has done. They have these book kiosks at different community centers, but we kind of took a page and they left out of the Aurora Sports Hall of Fame. And we branded that space, and we now have an electronic board, and we've been able to do programming out of that space now. We did a wonderful PA Day programming. We went to every camp with our partnership through the town of Aurora and Carrie Papillon, and visited all the camps, did from Sun story times, got people library cards. We have pop-up library cards. So that's been a wonderful way to outreach and really capture new membership because one, it reaches a different part of Aurora that maybe doesn't want to drive as far, but it also really reaches a new kind of person. Community people who go to community centers, we have so much in common with the community center. We're both about learning and growth, but in different ways. And so this has just been a wonderful partnership.
Councillor?
That's it. Congratulations.
Councillor Gardner?
Well, this is a good news story. Congratulations. I just wanted to know how the kiosk at the SARC is doing.
Jodi?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. The kiosk is doing quite well. It's a satellite collection, so we're able to make some nice little changes. We noticed when we first launched, it was summertime, we didn't have enough children's materials. We thought it would be kind of more one shelf of children's materials would be enough. There's a lot of children's programs that happen at the SARC. So we are able to respond very quickly and buy those materials, and that will actually, it's been increasing our circulation. So since its launch, we are seeing, I think it's about 250 checkouts per month at the SARC, and then we're able to increase it. It's gone up from about 25 to 36 as we continue to, per week, sorry, as we continue to alter the collection. So it's been really great.
Councillor?
Thank you. And the SARC has a lot of visitors from out of town. So how do we handle that if they want? They can just use their library card?
Through the chair.
Through the chair.
Thank you.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, they need a library card for Aurora Public Library. They
Okay.
can't use their Richmond Hill card or a different card, but that's for all of our services. Also, as a side note, the Discovery Passes have been so popular that we have limited them to only Aurora residents. Because we do get a lot of people from our neighboring communities that want to come and use our resources.
Councillor?
The Discovery Pass is a great idea. Thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none. Jodi, thank you very much for coming, and the entire board. All those in favor? Opposed? That carries. 6.1.5 Aurora Cultural Center. This is binder tab 15 as well. Presentation to be provided by Suzanne Haynes, Executive Director. Welcome.
Thank you, and good evening, Mr. Mayor, esteemed councilors for the town of Aurora, members of the Board of Directors of the Aurora Cultural Center, staff of the Aurora Cultural Center, residents, and guests. As president of the Aurora Cultural Center Board of Directors, I am honored to introduce our budget submission. It will be presented in detail, but not too much detail, by our Executive Director, Suzanne Haynes, who is the energy force that brings to life all that we do. We're at the end of a long agenda, so I'll be brief. You're about to hear about a budget formulated to enable the Aurora Cultural Center to build on the incredible momentum that began just over a year ago with the opening of the Aurora Town Square. In the seminal first year of operations, we saw the impact, both economic and reputational, that we and the town can achieve in bringing together the community, in attracting audiences, in enhancing tourism, stimulating economic development with a vibrant, accessible cultural hub. The strategic plan the Aurora Cultural Center Board of Directors has been developing is grounded in our commitment to excellence, artistic integrity, and community access. The Aurora Cultural Center recognizes and is responsibly managing within its financial constraints, implementing a schedule to eliminate a working capital deficit while reviewing and restructuring as necessary to ensure optimal organizational and operational efficiency. We are deeply aware of the financial challenges of our difficult times. We bring forward a proposal that sees the fiscal realities, but at the same time recognizes the need to continue the investment and momentum. I now ask our Executive Director, Suzanne Haynes, to take you through our budget presentation, mindful of what we've accomplished and where we can go from here.
Thank you, Marianne. Today, we're going to review the 2025 activities for the Aurora Cultural Center, our statistics to the end of August, and then I'll take you through the 2026 budget and objectives for the year. In the fall of 2024, the board solicited feedback from stakeholders of the Aurora Cultural Center to review and assess the vision, mission, and core values of the organization. Through careful work, a new vision, mission, and values was approved by the board in April of 2025, which guides the organization's work moving into the next strategic plan. These new guiding statements have influenced partnership work in the last half of 2025 and priorities as we plan for 2026. Organizational values are important for the next several years, aligned with our internal culture and those ideas generated with the town on how we want to impact the community through Aurora Town Square. Our operations remain stable with our core focus on the programs we offer in the community in professional live performing arts, gallery exhibits, and arts education programming. Added in 2024, we support the community through providing operational services at Aurora Town Square in production and audience management, or front of house. Now on to our 2025 programming, but first, I'd like to start with a thank you to the people, organizations, funders, and sponsors who make it possible to do what we do. Thank you. Your belief in our programming, our integrity as a not-for-profit organization, and our shared outcomes builds community. Our gallery program blossomed in the four purpose galleries, the new student gallery in the basement of 22 Church Street, and throughout Aurora Town Square. The programming highlights local community and diverse voices, deep connection with Indigenous roots, and internationally celebrated artists. Each year, we also have important digital and educational programming that deepens the understanding of our gallery work. The multiple performing arts series and programs also feature local and internationally acclaimed artists, diverse voices, and a diversity of genres. And in 2025, alongside award-winning classical artists in the David D. Simone Performance Hall, we introduced a new option for our classical audiences, bringing them back into Brebeck Hall for signature top artists in intimate afternoons with hot beverages and sweet pastries. Our family programming continues to inspire also with audiences for theater, music, and movement in 2 age categories, families with toddlers and those with school-aged children. New in 2025 is professional development and creation space and support for performing artists wanting to build and learn their craft with us in Aurora. These programs deepen connection with established artists working on new works and prioritize emerging and equity-seeking artists, offering our community and industry something special and new and accessible in a way they won't find anywhere else. We love to open our doors to the community and join in the community, sharing what we do in special events and outreach activities. Our volunteer program is key to our success. It's a program about social inclusion, engagement in the community, providing specialized training in customer service, and enabling additional skills to support excellence in our operations. Growth has been substantial from approximately 25 volunteers in 2024 to 120 to date in 2025. The next several slides show our statistics from our programs. This one is for our gallery program. However, we missed adding that title, so my apologies. This is our performing arts program, again to the end of August, and education programs to the end of the summer. And our KITS program runs January to June each year at the request of the schools, and as a result, these are our final statistics for 2025. And our outreach numbers. Demand from our community for our programs continues to grow. Program statistics are expected to exceed previous years when recorded to year end. And here we project our financial success of the programs to the end of the year. We continue to track our efficiency of admin versus program expenses, each year auditing time and resources spent in both areas. A historic KPI in our 2023 Provision of Cultural Services Agreement speaks to how the organization leverages the town's support to generate other revenue for our organizational needs. As you can see, other revenue and investment continues to be an important factor to our success, leveraging base funding from the town that provides stability. And this chart looks very small, my apologies, but it shows a projection to the end of 2025. The budget column mirrors the one that we brought forward last year for your review, passed by the board in September of 2024. In the meantime, we had a difficult year end in 2024 with a second significant year of operational deficit based on external factors and timing challenges. The board manages the fiscal plans closely and required a revised budget plan in early 2025 given these realities, including a focused effort on a 5-year working capital deficit reduction plan. Town staff were made aware of the issues caused by our deficits and worked with us throughout the year to improve collaboration and operational efficiencies, including outcomes that helped us maintain a positive cash flow. This is clearly our financial responsibility to respond to, and we've not asked for additional funding for the issue. The plan is strong and managed by the board and staff to ensure we resolve these challenges. An excess of revenue over expenses must be budgeted to support sustainability for the organization as we continue to deliver programs to the community. We do not budget to contribute to reserves annually. We have a number of additional KPIs that are available in our annual report for 2025 that will be submitted in June of 2026. And now on to the 2026 budget. As mentioned, the organization has a strategic plan that has been built through board insights and careful work broad insights and careful work by the board to take us into the next 5 years. Key objectives include building on the successful momentum of our programming as an artistic hub and cultural leader for the community, with a parallel objective of supporting tourism and economic growth for Aurora. The next agreement with the town is also a foundational to that next step. And year 2 of the working capital deficit reduction plan is important for sustainability. We are aware of the financial pressures that have been part of the budget conversations to date. We're also aware that the current town budget does not have an increase noted for the Aurora Cultural Centre. We chose to come forward with a request for the previously budgeted $11,200 increase to our base because it's critical to the organization's capacity to meet the community interests. We provide a place of well-being for the community, a place to be innovative and creative, a place of dialogue, a proven outlet for social inclusion and diverse voices, a place of belonging, civic pride, and connection to each other. We are at the end of a 4-year planning cycle where we've worked with the town to open the incredible Aurora Town Square, a place widely registered as unique in York Region and Ontario, especially the way we work together to capitalize on the skill sets of the partners that to the benefit of the community. Halting momentum now for a full year will halt our ability to continue building for the community, including our plans that stimulate a creative, inclusive, and socially responsive community, helps to build a reputation for Aurora as a whole and the cultural center, and leverages new revenue sources. You may ask what the momentum has been and what it means to the community. We have significant demand requests from our community and have a lens of our values and our inclusivity, diversity, equity, and accessibility framework to help us make decisions on what we take on to meet that need. We have goals around making programming even more special through interactive, unique, and consistent programming that serves to continue to build Aurora as a place to come for arts and culture. It's already bringing new audiences to the community, and we have local partners waiting to help and support that growth even further into 2026. With our 2023 Economic Impact Report documented $16.3 million of economic impact leveraged from our $1.5 million budget in 2022, we know that every dollar invested matters, and every program we offer has significant economic impact on Aurora businesses and the community. Thank you for your support and your time tonight. We're here to respond to any questions you have.
Thank you, Suzanne. A motion to approve, to receive for information. Councillor Weiss, Councillor Gardner. Any questions? Councillor Gallo.
Thank you. And congratulations once again. Obviously, I'm on the board now and have been in the past, and a tremendous supporter of the organization and everything that you do, and the wonderful people that support both staff and volunteers. And I'm extremely happy to be on the board and to see your successes. Could you please, through you, Mr. Mayor, just go through in a little more detail the working capital deficit for me?
Suzanne?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. Yes. We had a challenging couple of years in 2023 and 2024. In working with the town on Aurora Town Square and all of the opportunities that were potentially presented there, as dates shifted and as opportunities changed, we restructured, we cut, we held back on expenses, but we did incur deficits in both 2023 and 2024, even though the building opened in September. It was a very quick turnaround, so opening just in the last quarter. So each year was approximately $69,000, which for us ends up $138,000 of working capital deficit. So what that means in financial terms is that makes it difficult when you have, it basically is not enough cash in the bank because your working capital is not there. So we have to manage that very, very closely and manage what's coming in and what's going out. So it's made it very difficult to create further investment, and it's just a lot of it's a big challenge. So we know that we have to address this and that it will make it more possible for us to be more active in our investment in the community if we can take care of the working capital deficit. It's not something we can ignore. It's something that's going to just plague us until we can actually write it off.
Counselor?
So through you, Mr. Mayor, it's fair to say that as a result of, so many moving targets on the implementation, the construction, the fact that you had to move out of a building to build town square, that at least when I was there, I recall, us going through budget discussions, and we're really sometimes just throwing stuff at the wall because we just didn't know. And to me, this appears to be a result of that, of our, as much as we tried, it was a very difficult time to manage because there were so many unknowns. Is it fair to say this is a result of that? Through you, Mr. Mayor.
Suzanne?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, it was definitely very complex to navigate through that whole process, coming right out of COVID, which was another complex time for the arts. I think I probably prepared 10 budgets as we moved through, and the projections were just every 3 to 4 weeks to just try to see what was possible, because we wanted to be ready when it was to be opened. We knew what was being asked of us, and so we were trying to plan as much as we could and hold back as much as we could. I have to say that we had incredible support from Doug and Robin and Phil. It was incredible to be brought in and be part of how all things were being built and the scope changes and the project. But absolutely, there was that impact on the organization and what we were able to actually put into place. The biggest impact was really everyone in the community was waiting for this space. And so there were lots of people who were lining up, and I'm so grateful to say that they're interested and active and participating now. But they were waiting for the doors to open. And so we kept on bringing them along and hoping that when the doors opened, that they were just going to immediately arrive. By the time the doors opened, it meant that their budgets were spent and we had to wait till 2025. So we are seeing some success, and I do see a bright future. It's just we're in this deficit situation that we have to handle.
Counselor?
Thank you. Thank you for that explanation. And I just want to, not only for yourself, but for the other cultural groups, as I'm sure you know, I put a motion forward for a zero-based budget, but I want to reiterate, if anyone wants to reread, but I'll read, to me, the most important. Therefore, be it resolved that staff be requested not to reduce service levels. So my motion was never intended to reduce your funding. That didn't come from me, and it didn't come from the majority of council that moved that motion. It was always to find savings so that we can have a zero-based budget, but to continue the service levels and to continue to fund you.
Councilor Reese?
Yeah, thank you. And through you, Mayor. Great presentation. Enjoyed every bit of it. As with the public library, I'm very proud of the work that you are doing in the community and what you're providing for the community. The capital budget working is just a problem that you're going to live with for a little while, I'm sure. But I've been on the strategic planning with you, and the people that you have working are very good. And I have high hopes for the strategic plan to be successful. Now, what my question would be to you is, because I have this high expectation of success, I think it's 11,200 that is on the block right at the moment. Could you give me a little bit of an idea of what the consequences of not receiving that 11,200 might be with respect to the strategic plan and your attempts going forward through you, Mayor?
Suzanne?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, we had a couple extra slides because we thought this one might come up. I don't know if we can put those up. Thank you so much. That's so much pressure. We appreciate it. You know why continued investment matters? I mean, from our point of view, it is about the programs that we offer. So it's about strengthening community and well-being. We reduce social isolation, we foster inclusion and enhance quality of life. Through these shared artistic experiences that build empathy and confidence and belonging across generations and cultures and ability, we create connection and shared belonging. We bring people together, and we also look at the numbers. So I'm grateful that you asked, because we have an economic impact report that shows the deep economic impact that can happen just from $1 of investment. And this, as I mentioned before, was a study that was done in 2023 with our 2022 numbers, which is, as you know, just coming out of COVID. So a very different situation, but it showed how the community responds to the programming that we do. For every dollar that that is invested in the Aurora Cultural Center and that we spend in the community and that we bring to the community, $11.64 is spent in the community in economic impact. So that's a big loss of $130,000 by not continuing with that investment. Each of those dollars goes into our overall structure, goes into how we're trying to build through the strategic plan, how we're trying to build that social inclusion, how we're trying to bring people together. It's important. It's important that we continue that focus. If we don't have it this year, next year, we're going to be even further behind. We have a plan that when we were looking at the 4-year budgeting process, we really were ramping up with all of these things in mind, knowing that our other revenues would have to even increase more than what we were asking for the town in order to enable the kind of growth that the community was asking for through Aurora Town Square and all the studies that we did while we were offsite. So this is a picture of a number that is a direct, indirect, and induced economic impact from the investment you make. But it's also the people. That's actually what is so important to what we do. How people feel when they walk through those doors, how people react to the gallery exhibitions, what people say as they come out of a show, and I get the opportunity to hear it all. It's about how people feel about their community, the artists they see, what's available to them in Aurora, so they don't have to drive to Toronto to see a show and spend hundreds more dollars down there. They're going to spend it in town because they can. And we've proven it. And I definitely want to do another economic impact study next year, because I think we have changed so much and the audiences are showing up at our door. I don't want to stop that. I think it's super important to just keep on going. And we have a huge opportunity right now. We have only been open for a year and a bit. But the first year was important just to establish that we're here for the community. We have big plans with a plan that is coming to you tomorrow night that we worked on in partnership. We have interests in economic development. I'm meeting with the economic development department on how we can be a huge part of what happens in this community. I think that this is low. I think that that $11,200, that multiplying factor is far low. That's the one I have to use right now because that's the study we did. But I think it's a much greater impact for the community.
Thanks.
Councillor?
I see some other people want to make a few comments, so I'll close with this. I really think the loss of momentum that occurred because of COVID has hit the cultural sectors harder than almost anyone, and anybody in business knows that loss of momentum is something that's terrible. So I want to congratulate you on getting the momentum back. And so I'll release the floor through you, Mayor.
Mr. Thompson.
Suzanne, members of the board, thank you again for coming. What a great year you've had. It's nice to see that your participation and engagement is on the rise as well, similar to the library. I would agree that the best is yet to come, and we look forward to continuing to support you. And I appreciate the fact that both you and the library were able to, put it to some degree to equate what the value of both organizations are in terms of that return on investment. I think that's very important, and we'll continue to invest. Thank you.
Councillor Kemp.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And Thank you, Suzanne, and members of the board for coming out and delegating. And we certainly appreciate, all the KPIs, and I know you and the other town partners strive to put those in there for us, and we appreciate that. I think that you've touched on a couple of points already on the question that I'm about to ask. I'm sure there's a lot of excitement in this first full year of operating in the new Aurora Town Square. Just from your experience and staff experience thus far, can you give us some takeaways in terms of what exceeded your expectations and what some of the challenges were moving into a new building and some of the results of the activities and programming that you put in place?
Suzanne?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. Oh, I love this question. So I think the story of our journey is important, unique, and special. The work that we did with the town in particular as a partner through town staff and through council members that gave advice and participated in lots of discussions. Many of you were at different tables through the years. Was so impactful for the organization. So as a relatively small not-for-profit organization that was $750,000 budget and 5 staff members when I arrived, to a $1.9 million operation and 23 full and part-time staff now, it's a significant growth over the last 8 years. And that would not have happened without all the things that happened in the middle of there. So being a part of the design process, being able to be in blue sky meetings to talk about what's possible, what the community's asking of us, of all of us, for the arts, what we can build, what we can dream to build. We got it. We got it all, actually. We got all the pieces that come together to build a community, a lively community, a creative community, one that builds connectivity. So us having to leave our space, while a little disjointed and upsetting, within a month, we had worked with town staff to find another home. And we built a facility task force at the board so that we could talk about what does it look like when we're offsite and where do we need to be? And what does our agreement need to look like when we come back? And we did 3 years of work with the town on that while we're building and seeing this incredible building emerge from the ground and getting to walk through it and see what's possible and starting to dream about what those programs could be because we were on the ground floor. So we're offsite, we're in the community, we are building in the community. What a great opportunity to be out and seeing more of the community. That was something that the Aurora Cultural Center had never done, had been in 22 Church Street, really focused in that infrastructure. Now we're everywhere. COVID aside, it was a bit challenging, but then pop-ups came and we were able to activate Town Hall in a completely different way when it reopened. And people were very excited to come in and see the art there. So we were thrilled to have that partnership as well, and our education programs in the various places and the relationships that we built. That enabled us to build an audience to come back to Aurora Town Square. It made it possible to, when we opened our doors, know that we had an audience ready and waiting. And while we're experiencing a working capital deficit right now, it's made of the excitement and the planning for all the programs that we wanted to bring to the center and the partnerships that we were building and building and building. So that investment, while challenging now, is worth it. And we're going to work to eliminate that. In terms of the programming changes, we have this great relationship with the town that enables us to use the infrastructure in a way where we can deliver more to the community, where we can offer our expertise, our acumen in certain areas to help with customer service and the production needs of the organization. and we're a not-for-profit organization, so we have that on our side in terms of the kinds of revenue sources and expenses that we have that help to build this entire entity. Our education program is now in this beautiful out of the basement room with windows. The people love that space and they want to come back. And they're absolutely enjoying their classes. We've been able to advance programs that are possible to grow the cultural community and artistry in the community from 9 months old up, which we didn't have before. And in the gallery, coming back, in fact, the infrastructure didn't change that much. We had 4 galleries before, we are 4 galleries now, but we painted the basement. And in fact, it was quite funny because we looked at the walls and they were a little crinkly and we thought, oh, I wish they were flat like all the other gallery walls. And then we looked at it as an opportunity and said, you know what? That's okay. Let's see how we can use this, and started a student gallery. And the students love it. They're like, this is grunge and fabulous. I can do my art and be in this space and I can show it, and it's working. So in every part of our operations, we've had this incredible opportunity. And I couldn't be more grateful for all of the journey that we took over the last 8 years. It's really enabled the community to see something very special about what Aurora can be.
Councillor?
Thank you. And I think you just described why the Cultural Center and the arts brings community together. Through Mr. Mayor, I just have one last question. Between 2025 and what you budgeted for 26, the fundraising, the grants, donation, and sponsorships declined by over 200,000. Is it because there's 1 or 2 sponsors or donors that it was just a one-time gift that's dropping off, or is there something else?
Suzanne?
Through Mr. Mayor, are you talking about 2025 or 2026?
2026, it drops off by over 200,000. I'm just wondering why the gap. It's just
Through the chair.
Yeah, I thought I said that before, but through the mayor again.
Suzanne?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, we had 2 very significant project grants that came in 2025 to support both our Kaleidoscope in the Schools program and our Brevet Call Collaboratory that I talked about, the professional development program. I didn't put those in the budget because they are an in and out. If we get them again, fantastic, but that is the impact. So you'll also see a corresponding decrease in our, well, it was an increase in 2025, so you wouldn't have seen it. But yeah, it's really around. So if you in the programs, we had taken that out, but we're hoping and have applied for the grants again. The Canada Council has been incredibly supportive of us in both of those programs. So we anticipate we'll be back. And just some exciting news around the National Arts Centre having interest in being a part of that program because it is recognized as a strong professional development program that fills a gap that doesn't exist. So it's amazing when you start to build something, what just emerges.
Great, thank you.
Councillor Gillen?
Thank you. I just some quick comments. I was going to ask something a little bit similar, but I mean, I remember going through the COVID times on the board with the Cultural Center, and I just have seen your organization go from all this adversity and the resilience your organization went through in order to keep afloat was amazing. And look at you now, and that's the way I like to describe the Aurora Cultural Center, because you were very resilient and you waited in the wings. And we asked a lot of the Aurora Cultural Center for the patience while we went through not only the Town Square project, but through COVID and, you know, tightening your straps in the budgeting. And there was a lot of different funds moving around to try and support and help. And you guys did make sacrifices. And I really feel this is the time when we should not be not making those those investments to help the Aurora Cultural Center, because this is what we did it for. And I'm just really grateful that we have such a great organization such as yourselves that are so passionate, so involved, very responsible, professional, and clearly a lot of support for the artists in the community. I love in the slide that you had there about specifically about the economic impact with the local artists and being able to pay them for their services and so forth, and giving them a space, because as you know, there's a big gap allowing local artists to have that space in order to showcase for whatever that is, whether it's to paint or record or do any kind of small little display. You are providing that which there really is a deficit and a gap in York Region, I would suggest. So I think that we've come a long way. I want to thank you so much for your presentation. I think you've done a fantastic job. Keep it up. Kudos to you guys.
Councillor Garner.
I find I find it now, and I found it at the time, the way you were able to protect and keep the cultural center afloat during not only COVID, but also the building of the town square. I really didn't believe that it could be done. And you did it. And I must thank you, but also all the boards through all the years since the beginning. I think that they have been of the highest quality, and the diversity of the people and their enthusiasm. And I've never seen boards work so hard. I've seen boards that don't work at all, but I've never seen boards work so hard. So everybody is to be congratulated. And thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? See none. Suzanne, thank you, and the entire board. Just before we wrap, I just wanted to say, I mean, it's great to hear that Town Square, everyone agrees that Town Square is such an incredible investment in our community, and it's essentially created something special, not only in our town, but right across the GTA. We hear it right across from everywhere. People that come up here, you speak of it. I know the library speaks of it. We're seeing numbers increasing on both sides. We're continuously investing, from our Town of Aurora operating grant, we're investing almost $600,000 in the cultural center. So we continue to invest in our community partners to make sure that we can continue to thrive within the community. So I thank you for all the work that you guys do. I thank you, all our community partners from the Library, Historical Society, the Hall of Fame, everyone for coming out tonight. And we continue to invest in all of you, and we're going to continue to see our community thrive. So thank you very much. Councillor Gardner, second time.
Sorry, through Mr. Mayor. I don't think I did it last time I spoke. You're doing something very interesting for the Moshe Hammer concert. Maybe you could just very briefly mention that. And by the way, it's all sold out.
Off budget, but I'll allow it. Go ahead.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for asking. It was the comment when we came to classical music. We have a new series that is classical music and tea and sweet pastries in the afternoon for Brevik Hall. It's tables and chairs with Moshe Hammer, who is on his farewell tour. He's, I think, been playing his violin for at least 65 years. I don't know. I've heard him all through a number of those years, with Angela Park, who's a top artist also. So it's cabaret kind of style, but it really is a relaxed afternoon. And we want to do 2 of those concerts. So we have another one in 2026. And that is it's a very different kind of program for a particular audience who wants to come out in the afternoon on Sunday afternoon to listen to classical music and maybe can't make it out in the evenings. So we found that that's the audience that we've really reached there, and we're grateful. We've done the same on the popular music side, adding matinees on a Saturday afternoon to help, again, that audience who wants to come out in the afternoon. So thank you for asking.
Thank you. And if I could just say, Mr. Mayor, the population is aging, and a lot of people don't want to come out in the evening. especially in the winter. So this is it's not a niche market actually, but a growing market, and I'm curious to know how it works.
Thank you. All the vote, all those in favor? Opposed, that carries. Council, I'm going to call a health break unless everyone thinks we can finish other business very quickly. Keep going. Because I need a health break, but if we can get through this quickly, I'll get through. Councilor Weiss, other business. Okay, Councilor Gilliland. Yep, other business. Yep, for budget. Yep. You got some? Go ahead.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, to I'm not sure who. Usually in our budget binder at the very end, we have a section that highlights could be consultant fees for various plans. And we usually have a section kind of dedicated to that. And I didn't see any section dedicated to that this time around.
Right, I guess.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, so I think you're relating to the speaking to the studies and other budgets.
Yeah.
Those are in the individual departments. So for each of those studies, the budgets are sitting within the departments they relate to now, rather than being consolidated at the end.
Councilor.
Thank you. So what you're suggesting is it's not separated. It's within each department that way. Okay. I did notice that there was some, but I wasn't sure if I overlooked because I was looking for that separate bucket. And I didn't know if because we're trying to tighten our belts, we weren't doing as much. So I think there was only one that I really picked up on. I guess then through you, Mr. Mayor, to I guess maybe Wainwright Van Kessel or maybe Doug, I'm not so sure. I know that there was a strong mayor power decision to hire a consultant or third-party person to reevaluate the compensation for the next term of council, but yet I don't see that in the budget. And if I'm mistaken, that should be happening within 2026.
Mr. Mayor Van Kessel, it is happening, but Mr. Mayor Van Kessel, go ahead.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. So we're actually reviewing the agenda for the next meeting, and it looks like there's going to be a report coming at that time. So that'll be in December.
Thank you. Councilor.
Thank you. So there is going to be a cost associated with hiring a consultant. It is a third party that I think that the direction was. So I'm just curious as to why it's not in this budget, because we are planning on doing this study within 2026. Through Mr. Mayor to Ms. Wainwright Van Kessel.
Mr. Mayor Van Kessel.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, when the report comes forward, it is relation to the terms of reference for the compensation review. So the information and how it will move forward will be included in that report.
Councilor.
Thank you. Okay, I just find it interesting that it's not in this budget. We all knew about it happening 2 years ago. And I would have thought we would see those numbers within this budget today. That's what my comment.
Mr. Gardner. Mr. Thompson. Mr. Gallo. Go ahead.
I don't know if it's new business, but I just want to be sure I understand the process going forward, Mr. Mayor, if you'll indulge me. This is technically our last meeting if there are no amendments. Is that correct?
Correct.
And if there are amendments, there'll be another meeting to discuss them.
Correct. November 17th.
And that meeting will only revolve around the amendments that were put forward.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Kemp. Thank you. Motion to adjourn. Mr. Thompson, Councilor Weiss, all those in favor? Opposed? That carries. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.